Hey everybody, I'm Grant with Geotrek Vans, and I am standing in front of our 2025 Convoy floor plan. Super excited to show you this. Our goal here is to pack as much value into a premium camper van as possible, and feel like we've nailed it here. So follow me in, let's check it out. So here we are inside the Convoy layout. This floor plan is particularly optimized for if you have more than 2 passengers. So by contrast, if you look at our Albatross layout, we see a lot of folks that are solo travelers, couples using that layout. The Convoy is more conducive to like a small family, you're bringing friends along. Reason being, it allows for the addition of a jump seat. So this is a great option if you're traveling with more than 2 people. I'm going to start at the front, work to the back, and give you the full tour. Starting up front in the cockpit, you're going to notice not 1, but 2 swivel seats. We love anything in a van that is dual use. Swivel seat is going to face forward when you're driving, face backward when you're chilling. So we love this because it's convertible. Your space in the van is already limited, and as much as you can have in here that is dual use or multi-purpose and can expand your living space, the better. You know, if you have multiple passengers, this is a super great area to hang out and lounge. You'll notice we have the lagoon table right here, swivels around. If you ever wanted to move this, we offer additional mounts so you can put it on a different seat. When you're done with this, pushes right back over, locks into place. This stays super solid while driving, won't move at all. And then it's just out of sight, out of mind, not in your way. So just above our driver's seats here, we're gonna have the Geotrek headliner shelf. Love this thing for quick grab items. I oftentimes am throwing window covers up here, puffy jackets, anything you're using on a super regular basis, stuff it up there and go. Also on here, you're gonna notice we have some blackout curtains. Love these because they're just super quick privacy. Also a big fan of the window covers up front, but those can be a little bit more tedious to install. So these to me are just like, boom, done, privacy. So starting on our driver's side here, we're gonna have an extension of the lounge area we just looked at. So this is the bench seat, and of course you can sit down on it and use the lagoon table. Also, going on the theme of multi-use, you can pop this open, extra storage option. A lot of folks put a toilet in there. You could also throw clothes, cooking stuff, whatever suits you. To the left of that, we have half of the split galley. So one of the defining features of the Convoy is a split galley. This side is going to be your water and your sink. We really value a full-size sink in our vans. We've gotten similar feedback from our customers that for dishes and cooking, it's super nice to have. So we put that in here. On top of there, we got this sweet bamboo cutting board / counter extension. It just fits right in and allows you to set things on there if you want. Underneath our sink here, we're gonna have some more storage room. You're also gonna have the option for a gray water system here. So in this van, we have a 6-gallon tank underneath the cabinet. We also have the option for a 22-gallon tank underneath your chassis. There's pros and cons to both, and glad to consult with what's the best option for you. So moving over to our passenger side, we're gonna have the other half of your split galley. And this is gonna offer some more counter space. On this van, we have an induction stove. So a couple options here. On this build, we did the inset stove on the counter. So that sits inside the counter. Some folks prefer just more counter space and opt out of the inset stove. In that case, we could do a free-floating single burner inside this drawer. And then it just stays in there, super protected. You take it out when you need it. I really like this side because it just offers more space for kind of your cooking setup. You can charge electronics here in these outlets. We've got 2 AC outlets here, 2 USBs and a USB-C. And to me, this just really expands the feel of your van. Below our counter space and drawer here, we just have 2 cubbies that offer a little bit more storage on your passenger side galley. So on the front side of our passenger galley here, up top we have a drawer. This is great for extra storage. And then below that, we're gonna have our Dometic 110 fridge freezer. We feel like this thing is the perfect size for a van. You're gonna have your freezer compartment up top, and then you're going to have a pretty spacious fridge below that. This is a 12-volt fridge, which means it's super efficient with the power system that we use. To us, that's super important because it just maximizes your time spent off grid. You don't have to worry about power consumption, and you can keep food in here for days on end. On the outside of our cabinet here, we have a happy hour table. Now this is a super popular add-on from the feedback of our customers, and folds down, allows for some outside counter space. And then when you're done with it, folds back up. Really strong magnet right here. Will just lock in and stays really solid while you're driving. On the driver's side, you're going to notice that we have upper cabinets spanning the whole length of the van. This is a signature feature of all of our builds. We really value this space. We feel like it's an awesome place for extra storage. Another thing we really prioritize here is making these dead silent. Now that goes with all of the cabinets in this van, but there's a lot of things that we've fine-tuned over the years to make this happen. One of the top ones would be the material that we use. So this is Baltic birch with Phoenix laminate, both super premium materials. And then we have bamboo plywood frames. We've noticed that these are two of the few woods that actually won't squeak on contact with each other. And then we've also gone the extra length of felt tipping some of the corners. We've played with dozens of different latches and landed on these because you press them in and this stays super solid. Can't even really get it to rattle. We've found that, when you're on a washboard road, bumpy road, the whole back of the van is going to want to shake and rattle and vibrate. So the more you can do to mitigate that sound, the better. Inside of our middle upper cabinet, we have the Max Fan remote. So this is the Max Fan. To us, we feel like this is a critical feature of your build. So we're going to include it on all of the Albatrosses, all of the Convoy builds standard. Now this fan is the deluxe version, which means you can do dual direction. So if you want to suck air into the van, you can. It's great for cooling it down. Or if you want to pull air out, that's very helpful for ventilation. So if you're in here cooking, I love to run that in the pull air out direction. Love the Max Fan. On the topic of airflow, on our driver's side, we are always going to include a sliding window. We think this is a great feature of the van. It's going to slide open like this, and then it's also got a screen on there, which is pretty slick as well. This fan is going to have 3 different zones of LED lighting, all powered by a light switch here on the passenger side. So underneath the cabinets, we'll have an LED light strip, pretty sweet for accent lighting. Over the bed, we'll have a lighting zone, and then over the kitchen, we'll have a separate lighting zone. Over the bed, we're also going to have these reading lights. These are adjustable. We've got a USB charger underneath, and they're also dimmable if you hold this button. So just to the left of our reading light here, we have the S-Bar heater thermostat. We love these heaters because they're super efficient. They're actually going to tap down into your fuel tank. So if you have a diesel van, you'll have a diesel heater that taps into fuel. If you have a gas fan, you'll have a gas heater. This allows for super efficient heating because it takes hardly any power. It's just going to take a drop of fuel every couple seconds and heat your van. This thermostat allows you to set the temperature, set the time, and it's going to auto-regulate the heating inside of your van. Just below the heater remote, we have our Ecoflow Power Kit display monitor. What this allows us to do is watch our input levels. So what are we pulling in from solar? What are we pulling in from the alternator charging? And then what is our output? So what are all the appliances in here doing that is draining from the battery? To me, it's just a super easy way to monitor what's going on. We also like this system because it's modular, meaning you can configure your lithium setup just to what you need. And then if you ever feel like you need to upgrade it down the line, you totally can. Back behind me, one of the most important parts of your build, the bed. So this is unique to the Convoy in the sense that our bed is east-west instead of north-south. In our other configuration, the Albatross, you're going to sleep with your head at the back, feet at the front. In the Convoy, you sleep east-west, meaning you're laying perpendicular to the length of the van. So one of the caveats to that is if you're over 5'9", you might want some sort of extension on the sides, bump outs, flares. On this van, we have one driver's side bump out that makes this bed 6'2" in length. If you went no bump outs, it would be 5'9". If you went 2 bump outs, so if you were to add it on the passenger side here, it'd be 6'7". The pro to going east-west is you get to utilize a lot of this space up front. And you're saving about 14 inches of bed space that would come to about here in the albatross. So sitting on top of the bed here, you'll notice that I can sit up straight without hunching over. We found that to be super important. But you also want to strike the balance between having plenty of space to store things underneath. A lot of our customers love to mountain bike, which of course you have to be able to fit your bikes under the bed. We found that bed height at 36 inches is the perfect balance between sitting up straight and fitting a full-size mountain bike with your front wheel off underneath the bed. Coming around to the back here, we have our garage area. So on the driver's side, we're going to have a cabinet that stores all of your water. You can see we have the intake right here for fresh water. Wrapped around the wheel well is going to be a 24-gallon freshwater tank. On the other side, this is our power setup. So this is where all of that Ecoflow power kit is going to live, configurable lithium options, and then some extra cubby space on that as well. Between these two, we're going to have leaflets or inserts between the cabinets. And this makes up the platform of your bed and allows you to remove the whole thing if you ever wanted to. I'm up on top of the roof now, and I am looking at 400 watts of solar. This is going to make up one of 3 sources of input on your van. Here at Geotrek, we really value time spent off grid. We do not think you should be beholden to having to find an RV hookup or plug-in every time. So the solar really expands your capability for off-grid use, along with alternator charging. So if your vehicle is running, your system is also charging. Worst case scenario, as the 3rd source of input, we do offer a shore power plug. So if you have an extension cord or an RV hookup, you can always plug in. So that's the Convoy. If you like this van, you'd like to learn more, go check out geotrekvans.com.